Welcome back to Inside Drag Racing and the ARP Quarter Mile Quiz. WJ, a little help with this week's question, if you could, sir. Tony Rumpel wants to know, is there an octane limit for the fuel used in Pro Stock cars?
That's a great question for Pro Stock, because there really isn't an octane limit per se. What we have to do is run a spec fuel blended by VP fuels. It's a C25 fuel. That's our spec fuel. They have to run. Everybody runs the same fuel. It's a great fuel for Pro Stock or large bore, high compression motors.
And of course, NHRA governs the fuel, so it's checked, so we know everybody's running the same.
It's checked before and after the run.
Well, when you want to know an answer, go to a 6-time world champion to get it. Hey, we appreciate the question. Got a great looking ARP Quarter Mile Quiz sweatshirt on the way to you. And for you folks at home, email me or mail me your question.
Welcome back to Orlando, Florida. As we continue our coverage of the PRI show, we've got a brand new product for you. As a matter of fact, Russ was telling me before we came back on the air that this product is the greatest invention for mechanics in a garage since the dishwasher was invented for the housewife, right, Russ? And
right.
Why is that? It's a parts washer from Kuda, but you don't use solvent?
No solvents, all soap and water, no hazardous waste, biodegradable, safe, environmentally friendly. In some cases, or most cases, it's sewerable.
So I could hook this to the sewer?
Yes.
I don't have to have a special haul-away service to get rid of hazardous waste. And when you use a solvent, you have to wear special masks and everything?
Right. You should, to use a solvent, a scrubbing tank, you should use a respirator, a rubber apron, rubber boots, rubber gloves.
Oh my gosh. You look like the creature from beyond with that. And a lot of people don't, which puts them in violation of OSHA regulations, I would imagine.
And then with the soap and water, you eliminate all the hazardous waste and all the environmental issues.
Okay, now Jimmy, how does this thing work with just soap and water?
The way it works, it's all a self-contained unit. It holds the water in the bottom of the unit. It has a pump, pumps water through a manifold, and spray nozzles throughout our equipment. Different equipment has a different number of nozzles, and then it just runs it through over and over again. It has an oil skimmer that will pull the oil off your water solution, that you can put that in your waste oil system, and then you can continue to use the water for up to 30 days.
And it's Kuda, it's called. These gentlemen are two of the distributors of that product, and I'll tell you what, at the end of the show, we'll put up a website where you can get more information on the Kuda.
The NHRA Sportsman Spotlight, featuring a closer look at NHRA sportsman drag racers and their racing activities at different drag strips across the nation. Brought to you by Duplicolor, the leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings. Spencer Speedway in Williamson, New York is one of the oldest continuous racing facilities in North America. A half-mile NASCAR sanctioned oval and a 10th-mile drag strip. Built in 1954 by the Spencer brothers, this track takes you back to the basics of fun.
Well, when you walk in, the first thing you see is there's a fairly large grandstand area for a facility like this because of the size, and it's open. It's all open, all accessible. There's not a lot of fencing to keep you out of a lot of places. Everything's pretty much in an open area, kind of family-oriented. A lot of spots for kids that they get time bored. They can play football, baseball. It's known to happen. Get you off the street, that's definitely not a good place to race. I mean, the NHRA has a very good street legal program we're involved with. It's a safe facility. You have to go through the NHRA technical inspection. It's just a lot of fun.
Oh, they treat you like you were one of the family. A guy off the street or a guy comes in with his car, he has a problem, there's 10 people that go up and ask him if he wants help. That's the way it is here. It's not like when you go to a big track where they're snobby and stuff like that. And, you know, it's it. You know, I go to Florida and I go to, Division II races in the wintertime, and they don't treat you like you do when you're home. This is home.
Being a little bit smaller, it might be a little more personal level here. I mean, my wife works here and both my daughters work here. I mean, it's like I say, it's all about family and having fun and back to the basic values that it's better that everybody's together on a Saturday night having fun and smiling than it is some of the other problems that they could be getting into.
This track has been around for a long time, and it shows. The atmosphere, the people, it shows.
The evolution of the drag racing engine, it has come a long way. You know, cylinder head manufacturers continue to put more volume in there. And to keep up with that, the guys at Oliver Racing Parts with their connecting rods, these guys have continued to make progress and evolve. Let's talk a little bit about the market. Seems like we're making more and more horsepower. How have you guys kept up with that?
Well, that's correct. And we've redesigned our rod to keep up with that market. We've done some design improvements this last year through the structure of the rod, along with modern engineering and CNC programming. We were to add roughly 15 to 20% strength to our rod with same weight, within 5 grams of our previous weights. So that's quite an advantage from the horsepower and RPM level. Of course, Oliver's 25 years old. When we started to see a 7,500 RPM motor was pretty standard. Today, 9,000 RPM, big block, small block. And because the staff at Oliver, we are racers with engineering and machining backgrounds, when customers call, we hear what they're talking about. We talk their language.
You're not a catalog. I mean, someone's not going to get a part out of a catalog. They're going to talk to a guy that knows racing.
When you call Oliver, you are talking to a racer technician.
Spoken like a true racer, always finding that advantage. Stay tuned at the end of the program. We'll give you complete contact information for Oliver Racing Products.